Dímelo mi gente, quiero caer el tigre con flow. El tigre is back with a brand new reaction. As y'all can see by the screen, we got top 100 facts that might save your life one day. This video is 26 minutes long, so I'm gonna try not to like yap too much, you know what I'm saying, or in excessive, or I might not even just pause the video, you know what I'm saying. But hey, let's get into it. Like, subscribe, comment, share. No hay ningún tipo de excusa. Pero with that being said, let's go.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down 100 facts that might save your life one day. If you have a potentially life-saving fact, drop it in the comments, and we can all learn together. Unlike in the movies, you should not attempt to suck venom from a snake bite or apply a tourniquet.
Okay, I'll do it.
What? Oh, there'll be no sucking. Man,
Hell.
get this man away from my ass.
Are you sure?
Yo.
Sure, thanks.
Instead, move the victim out of harm's way, have them lie down with the wound below their heart, and transport them to the nearest medical facility. Also, if you get bitten by a wild mammal, you should get the rabies vaccine immediately, as it is one of the most lethal diseases on the planet.
For real?
If you break a bone, follow these steps. Call for help, attempts to stop any bleeding, and immobilize the injured area. Your car thermometer is not 100% accurate.
No.
Most cars are equipped with a thermistor behind the grille, which is exposed to heat radiating from the roadway. So even if your thermometer doesn't read below freezing, there could still be black ice on the road. Be aware of road conditions and give your thermometer a few degrees buffer, and it could save your life. Blue lights steal your sleep time, disrupting the brain's secretion of melatonin. So before you go to bed, place that phone in another room.
For real,
Keeping your phone face down will save battery, which could become important in an emergency. This will keep it from...
I be doing that and not even trying to save battery. I don't want just something to drop on it, you know what I'm saying? Then the screen cracks. But I didn't even know you can save battery.
Lighting up when it receives notifications. Don't eat snow for hydration. Since it takes so much energy for your body to melt the ice, you'll end up further dehydrated than what you gain, plus lose essential body heat while you're at it. You can start a fire with a 9-volt battery and steel wool. If you rub the battery against the steel wool, it should begin to spark. Place it beneath kindling and you'll have an emergency campfire. Be sure to have water nearby if you need to extinguish it. An overloaded keyring could damage your car's ignition mechanism. All the weight can wear out sensitive internal components, making it so your car won't be able to start.
That's crazy work.
Bigger the keychain, more powerful the man.
Laughter is proven to improve blood flow, immune response, blood sugar levels, and relaxation. So watching some funny internet clips could actually be helping your health. If you ever get stuck in a rip current, don't panic and try to swim directly back to the shore. Instead, swim across the current, parallel to the shore, until you're out of the rip.
Been doing that.
Speaking of which, if you need to catch your breath while exiting a rip, relax and float for around a minute or so. Some rip currents recirculate and might pull you closer to shore rather than just further away. If you think you're having a heart attack, you should chew aspirin, not swallow. This works faster to inhibit platelets, which trigger blood clotting. If you come across a mountain lion, don't run away. Calmly back away, maintaining eye contact without bending over or crouching. If it starts moving towards you, throw things at it. And if it starts getting aggressive, act as big and intimidating as possible. Never, ever go underneath a pin setter at a bowling alley, which includes sliding into the pins as a joke. The force is so strong on some of these machines that it can cause serious or even fatal injuries.
Who's jumping in there, bro?
But just like any running machinery, they're dangerous. So, you got gears, you got pulleys, everything's, running.
If you're at a beach on vacation and the water suddenly recedes from the coastline, run for high ground. A tsunami is on its way. Other signs include severe ground shaking and a roaring sound, as if from a train or plane. If a tornado doesn't look like it's moving left or right, it
then
might
it's coming
be moving right towards you.
Been knowing that,
Get
bro.
to safety. If someone has been stabbed or punctured by a sharp object, leave the object in the body. It
For
will
real.
potentially
That's
prevent
facts.
blood loss. Apply direct pressure either side of the object. You should also sit or lie the person down and elevate their legs if they're in shock. If the object isn't still inside the victim, apply direct pressure to the wound to stop the bleeding. It takes 10 minutes for clots to form. Use gloves, clean cloth, or plastic bags to protect yourself from blood contamination. If a room in the house has a fishy scent, check your electrical outlets and start unplugging appliances. That smell could indicate overheating electrical components. You might just save yourself from an electric fire. The bystander effect is when people are less likely to help a victim when there are other people standing around. So, when crying out for help, pick out an individual in the crowd, make eye contact, and call on that person for help. Most drunk driving deaths occur between midnight and 3 a.m. in the United States. Maybe avoid the roads during these times if you can help it. If you see a bear, you should stand tall, talk calmly, and back away without making eye contact. In the rare case that you're attacked, you may have heard this rhyme. If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, good night. If a brown bear attacks, you should play dead, or you'll make the attack worse. As for a black bear, which is smaller, you should fight back. A polar bear may see you as prey, so you should definitely fight back. But the odds are not good. If you're out and your drink tastes unusually salty, do not continue drinking it. GHB has a salty taste, although it's easily masked by other flavors. Your best bet is to never leave your drink unattended.
For real, bro.
If you ever wake up in the middle of the night to the smell of gas, do not turn on the light. A spark from a light switch could ignite the gas. If you ever see square waves in the ocean, get out. They can create powerful currents and rips. If one of your pupils reflects white in a picture, it could be just a reflection, but it could also be a sign that something is wrong with your eye, such as a cataract or even cancer. Normalcy bias is when people underestimate the threat of danger despite warning signs. About 70% of people display this bias in disasters, delaying evacuation. If you're asked to leave the area due to impending danger, just get out of there. You can use condoms as makeshift water storage, as they are incredibly elastic. Just make sure they're lubeless though. Tie the end around a stick so you can easily untie it. You can also wrap it in a sock to prevent it being pierced.
Because if you try to walk through the woods with the way that it was, you can forget about it. It's going to pop. And
if you're caught in a thunderstorm, do not stand near a tree. It's a natural lightning rod. If the air tingles and your hair stands on end, lightning is about to strike nearby. Crouch, tuck your head, and put your hands over your ears. Don't lie flat, as wet ground conducts electricity. If a power line falls next to you, don't walk or run. Shuffle or bunny hop to safety. Seems silly, but it makes sure that the voltage to each foot is the same, so that electricity doesn't run up one leg and down the other. When calling an emergency number like 911, be prepared to give them an address or location first. So even
for real, bro, like nibbles be calling 911 and they don't even got like their location. Like okay, like you gotta think like if you're in an area where there's like an emergency, you know what I'm saying, or something bad can happen, you gotta know where you are, bro. Like if you're in the middle of the desert, bro, you're cooked, you're gone. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta know exactly where you are, because you can't just call it and they know where you are just because you think like they can track it. Like, my neighbor. It sounds easy. Maybe they can do it, but it's better if, you know what I'm saying, tell them where you are, bruh. Come on, bruh.
Cut off, they know where you are. follow up with the nature of your emergency.
For real.
Encounter an emergency while
Okay,
abroad?
baby girl, I
The
see
number
you.
112 can be used in most European countries, forwarding you to local emergency numbers. It also
Okay.
works in some African and Asian countries, as well as North America. Hold your nose when you jump into rivers and lakes, especially if the water is stagnant. This protects against infiltration by dangerous
like it
amoeba.
just
Also, if you're falling into water from a height, enter feet first with your arms at your sides. This could protect you from major injuries. If you ever feel like someone
Okay.
is following your car,
That's why they
take
jump like-
4 right turns and it will make a circle. If they are still behind you, that means they are following you. If that's the case, go somewhere where people are, even a police station if you need to.
4 right
If you
turn. Okay,
accidentally
okay.
disturb a beehive or wasp nest, do not run for the water. They'll just wait for you to resurface. Run fast and as far as you can, because
Bro, turn
eventually
into Usain
they
Bolt,
will
bro.
stop following you. Swatting at them will only make things worse, and if you get stung, pull the stinger out as soon as possible.
Girl, run,
The more colorful and vivid the animal is, the more likely it's poisonous.
Dang.
If you ever find yourself in a falling elevator,
Damn, my
do
neighbor.
not try to jump at the last second to avoid impact or bend your knees to absorb the impact. Instead, lying flat on your back and covering your face
My neighbors, you is a walking tomb like that. Bro, you is guaranteed death, bro. You telling me laying down on the floor, you ain't gonna feel boom, my neighbor, what? You about to feel it all over yourself. You about to feel it in your balls, you about to feel it in your booty, my neighbor, what? You about to feel it in your boobs. My neighbor, like laying flat. My neighbor, that gotta be cap. What? Now I would think like you just jumping out the last second, or like, oh shoot, I made it. That's what I feel like I would do. But my neighbor, you got a better chance. My neighbor, you is a walking target. You is a laid down target, bro.
is your best bet for survival. If you find yourself lost in the wilderness and can't retrace your steps, walk downhill. You're more likely to hit a trail, road, or buildings. You're also likely to find a water source, which people
that's actually
often build
smart.
around. And
That's
if you find a
smart.
fence, follow it. If your plane has to make an emergency water landing, do not inflate your life jacket on the inside of the aircraft.
Bro,
It
that's
will make
automatic
it harder for you
RIP,
to
bro.
move to the emergency exits, especially if water rushes in. Instead, swim to the exit and then inflate your jacket. Heat
Facts.
travels through liquid faster than gas. So, if you want to stay warm, keep yourself and your clothes dry so that heat transfers from your body more slowly. You can miss something in plain sight due to inattentional blindness, which can occur when your brain is attending to too many stimuli. One example is when you're walking and on your phone at the same time. This leaves you open to walking into objects or into traffic.
Too many
If
crumbs
you
to
feel
people,
sick and don't want
Too
to
many
throw
crumbs to
up,
people.
hum. Humming suppresses the gag reflex. The limits of the human body tend to follow rules of 3. People can generally go 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter in extreme weather conditions, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. The most
Dang.
common sign of a heart attack is pain or discomfort in your chest, especially a feeling of pressure or squeezing. It can sometimes spread out to other areas and be accompanied by fatigue,
Dios
a
libre,
cold
for real.
sweat,
God forbid,
lightheadedness, nausea,
For me and
or
for all of
shortness
y'all,
of
God
breath.
forbid, bro,
If
for
this
real, no
happens,
joke.
seek urgent medical
God forbid.
attention. Women can experience heart attacks differently to men. While chest pain is common in both men and women, women are more likely to feel sick, experience shortness of breath, or have back, neck, or jaw pain.
The bottom line is there's more variation in heart attack symptoms in women, and women tend to wait to get them investigated.
If
I know. Dang, that's beautiful.
your stool
Yo,
has black
yo.
specks in it, which some describe as looking like coffee grounds, seek medical attention. It might mean you have gastrointestinal bleeding. When walking downstairs, don't put your hands in your pockets. If you happen to slip and fall, your arms won't be able to grab a railing or break your fall.
That's true. Nah, usually I don't have my hands in my pocket when I be
You
falling.
don't have to pay money on any type of phone to call 911. So don't bother hunting for change if you're using a payphone. Most fire deaths are caused by smoke inhalation, not burns. If you find yourself caught in one, stay low to the ground and get out of there
Yeah, I
ASAP.
heard about that.
Never put your feet on a car dashboard. Airbags deploy at hundreds of miles per hour and can break your nose when seated normally. But a broken nose is better than broken legs.
For real, bro.
Don't use
Dang.
bleach and cleaning products that contain ammonia at the same time in the same room. Their vapors will mix in the air and create chloramine, which can damage your respiratory tract.
You told people to mix ammonia and bleach?
Only if they want bathroom fixtures that shine like the sun.
Peggy, that's the recipe for mustard gas.
Nah, we
If
should
your
react to
vehicle
that,
gets
bro.
stuck on a railroad, get off the tracks immediately and run away at a 45-degree angle in the direction the train is coming from. This protects you from being in the splash zone of debris if your vehicle gets hit. Also, look for a sign with an emergency number for the railroad or call 911. And they can inform any approaching trains. A wagging tail does not always mean a dog is friendly or happy. Dogs can also wag their tail when fearful or as a warning. Always ask the owner before you pet their dog. Both the words flammable and inflammable mean that the product is capable of being easily ignited and of burning quickly. Non-flammable means not easily ignited. Chemical burns are different from heat and fire burns. You might not feel pain right away, but they can cause irreparable damage to your skin. If you get chemicals on
that's
you,
nasty.
be sure to read the labels and use the recommended
gosh, I don't
method,
wanna watch
as
that.
water can often not be enough.
That's nasty work.
over your head to make
I'm watching that, bro. That's nasty. That's nasty work. Why is it like white?
Please, please.
Purple flags on the beach indicate dangerous sea life in the area. Red flags warn of serious hazards, such as high surf or dangerous currents. A double red flag means the water is closed to swimming. Use the acronym FAST to identify symptoms of a stroke. F stands for face drooping. Does one side of the person's face droop? For example, in
I did
a
not know
crooked
that.
smile. A is for arm weakness. Can they raise both arms? S is for speech difficulties. Are they slurring?
obviously you're gonna
T
notice
stands
these
for
things, you know what I'm
time.
saying?
If you see any of these signs, it's time to call emergency services. Many species of mushrooms are poisonous to humans and can even be fatal, so do not eat wild mushrooms.
Nah,
Dangerous ones can also look convincingly like edible ones. After you fall into very cold water, dry yourself off, dress in layers, and warm up gradually. A phenomenon known as afterdrop means that if you warm up rapidly, your core temperature may initially continue to cool. If a stranger tries to force you into their car, shout for help and fight back as hard as you can.
Obviously,
Escape
bro.
will be more difficult once you're taken to a new location. A knife can be lethal, even in inexperienced hands. If someone pulls one on you, don't escalate the situation. Run away if you can. If you can't, hand them what they want. Your wallet isn't worth your life.
No.
A knife. There's a knife.
Telling people where you're going
That's
increases
annoying.
your chance of survival if you get lost, injured, or kidnapped.
That's
in
true.
2021, unintentional
Hey, yo,
shooting
we
deaths
got
accounted
YNs.
for over 4% of
We got YNs and Mojo? You crazy.
related deaths in the U.S. Many involved children. In the home, firearms should be stored unloaded and in a secure place behind child-proof safety locks. Using water to put out a grease or oil fire will make the fire worse. Instead, turn off the stove to cut off the heat and cover the pot to cut off oxygen. you can use your pants as a life preserver by taking them off,
I heard
tying
about
the
that.
legs together, and filling your pants with air, either by scooping the waist down through the air into the water or by breathing into the waist from below.
Bro, how you
Scrunch
gonna
the
do
waist
that in
tight
the water,
to
bro?
prevent air escaping. About half of
You
the
trying to
passengers
survive,
killed
bro.
in car accidents in 2020 in the US were not wearing seatbelts. Buckle up. Many backpacks have a built-in whistle to get attention. Especially in windy weather, don't camp under a tree. Tree limbs sometimes shed or break off and could come down on your tent. If you
That's
fall
facts.
into quicksand, don't panic. You can only really sink up to your waist. Wriggle your legs to loosen them, sit back, and try to float out. It's okay to ask for help if you're feeling depressed. There are plenty of
Facts.
publicly available numbers to
Facts.
call if you
This is
need
good.
someone to talk to. If you hit your head and briefly lose consciousness, seek medical care when you wake up. You likely have a concussion. You could also have an epidural hematoma, bleeding between your skull and the membrane around your brain. Toilets are more deadly than sharks. Each year in the US, around 40,000 people are injured in toilet seat-related accidents. Make sure not to slip on a wet bathroom floor. Distracted driving is the leading cause of car accidents in the US. So stay off your phone while driving. A gun trigger can be pulled faster
got
than
paid to
you
do
can
that.
react. So don't try to disarm someone if you're being robbed. Things are replaceable. Your life is not. You can estimate the remaining daylight time by extending your arm in front of you and holding your hand out with your pinky finger on the horizon line. The width of one finger is roughly equal to the distance the sun will travel in 15 minutes. 4 fingers equals 1 hour. If you're buried in an avalanche and disorientated, spit. Your saliva will follow the gravity, and you can dig in the opposite direction. Smoking
Who's gonna
causes
remember this bit,
cancer.
bro?
We know you know, but it's an important one. The harder you make it for a burglar to enter, the less likely a break-in will occur. So always
Obviously,
lock
my
your
nigga.
doors. Also,
Obvious.
be careful when someone comes to the door. Just because the doorbell rings doesn't mean you're obligated to open the door.
Hey, Glenda.
Oh shoot.
Horses cannot see immediately in front of or behind them, and
They see,
horse
like, to the
kicks
side.
are incredibly powerful. So never approach a horse from behind. Stand on
Hey,
the
yo.
side of the horse between the head and shoulder. You can perform the Heimlich maneuver on yourself. Form a fist just above the navel. Place your other palm over the fist to push more firmly. Drive your fist in and up in the diaphragm area, the top of your stomach, and repeat until the object stuck in your throat dislodges. If
Wow.
a man takes a pregnancy test and the result is positive, it might be the sign of testicular cancer.
Testicular
Yo, leave
cancer
it, bro.
can hit men at
God
any
forbid,
age, but
bro.
almost half of the cases are found in men between 20 and 34.
God
The
forbid, bro.
safest
God
place
forbid.
to sit on a plane in the case of a plane crash is
God
near
forbid,
the
too.
back,
God forbid,
in a
bro.
middle seat. The worst seats are on either side of the aisle in the middle of the aircraft, which is almost double the fatality rate. If
Damn,
you're
my
stuck
neighbor.
in a stampede,
I was
the
just
most
sitting on the window.
important thing is to stay on your feet. Keep your hands around
Facts.
chest height to protect yourself and prevent being crushed. If someone is drowning, remember this rhyme. Reach or throw, don't go. Use a long item to reach
For real,
out for
'cause
the
if you-
victim
if
to
you
grab
throw
onto.
yourself, my nigga, you dead too.
Otherwise, throw them something that floats. If you approach without a flotation device, a drowning person is likely to grab onto you and pull you under. Even
Thanks,
when
my
someone
nigga.
has been pulled ashore after drowning,
Okay, I
that
see
person
you, my
can
man.
still die due to leftover water in their lungs. This is called dry drowning. Even if you've been saved from drowning, you still need urgent medical attention. If you need to break a car window, aim for the edges or corners. The center of the window is usually the strongest part.
Push it in the corner and apply pressure. And there we have it.
Embassies and consulates have emergency numbers they answer 24 hours a day. When abroad, it can pay to have this number saved in your phone. If you possess a gun, you're more likely to be shot during an assault. This is especially true in cases where the victim has a chance to resist.
Hey, old man.
That's crazy, bro. 2 YNs fighting, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all 2 grown men.
In cases where the victim has a chance to resist.
Hey, old man. Give me everything.
Call an ambulance!
Damn, bro, you good?
But not for me.
Some thieves
You got it, right.
Call an ambulance! But not for me.
You got
Some
it.
thieves use posts on social media to identify and plan robberies. When you
Facts.
check in somewhere, it indicates you're not at home.
How easy would it be to find the location of her house?
From a car, yes, you can get the location of the house. But same time, according to the life thing, sometimes the excess is in there.
Although it's rare, alcohol withdrawal can be fatal. If you have a long-standing problem with alcohol and show signs of withdrawal,
You gotta go out
like
of it
tremors,
slowly.
insomnia,
You can't just,
nausea,
like,
or
get it up in
anxiety,
there, you know what I'm
get
saying?
medical assistance.
For real.
People do not outgrow asthma. Whilst some might become asymptomatic as they get older, the potential for asthma remains. Always carry an inhaler and keep the
What?
prescription up to date, even if you
That's
haven't
stuck
had
for you
symptoms
forever?
for years. You do not have to wait 24 hours to report a missing person.
Bro, who
There is
does
no
that, bro?
time limit, and the sooner you report it, the better. One
John
of the
Johnson.
symptoms of hypothermia is drowsiness. If you or someone else has stopped shaking from extreme cold and is feeling sleepy, it's not a good sign. Get
Nah, nigga, you
inside
close
and
to-
warm up.
You know what I'm saying?
Closed doors can slow the spread of fire and smoke. With this
Really?
in mind, it's best to sleep with the door of your bedroom shut.
Yeah,
Also,
facts.
be sure to check the batteries in your smoke alarms regularly.
Fire
Facts.
can't go through doors, stupid. It's not a ghost.
While driving, if the accelerator pedal gets stuck or something else causes unintended acceleration in your car, press the brakes firmly and put it in neutral. Extinguishing a fire is a lot easier with a fire extinguisher, so buy one before you need one. The best preventions for heart disease, which is the leading cause of death in the US, are eating a healthy diet, exercising regularly,
Facts.
maintaining a healthy weight,
Facts.
limiting your alcohol intake,
Facts. I do
not
all of
smoking,
these.
getting
Facts.
your blood pressure checked regularly,
I ain't
and
trying to go over
managing
there, bro.
diabetes if you have it.
Facts,
Keeping healthy and not smoking can also reduce your chance of getting cancer, the
Facts.
second leading cause of death in the US. But you should also talk to your doctor about
And
how
drink
to
water
do
too, bro.
self-checks and how often you should get screened. Your subconscious mind will be able to pick up warning signs that your conscious mind might not. So if a situation doesn't add up and something feels off, trust your gut and instincts. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips.
That's facts, though. I won't lie, that's facts, because sometimes, like, you be feeling something, and then it's like, you on some conscious, what's that word, like, you, like, not even thinking about it, you just realize, oh, wait, nah, this gotta be, this ain't right, you know what I'm saying, like, you realize it, but, hey, that's the end of the video, the reaction, hopefully y'all did enjoy, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, mi gente, no excusa, pero, we out of here.